Today on episode 228 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our NBA and NHL Finals Preview, tier rankings, and the TCF top 3 of closed baseball stadiums. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 228. Make sure to find us on X at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well. Go on over to our YouTube page for all of our content in video form. Just make sure you hit the red subscribe button there. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there as well, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, whatever you use. We are there. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review, leave a 5-star wherever you can. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, but make sure to follow the man that I am joined with today. That is Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Zach, we're officially – it's good summer weather. It's not too hot, a little bit of a breeze going on. This is great. If we could have 75 and a breeze every day, I could never.
Okay, when does summer technically start? Because I'm so confused about when summer starts, spring ends. Was it Punxsutawney Phil sees his shadow or whatever?
I don't have the slightest clue. I'll look it up here. June 20th, so not too far away.
So we're not even in summer yet. That's just so confusing to me. But the weather been perfect, honestly.
Yeah.
You have some hot days, you have some cool days, but
even the hot days have had a breeze at least. It means me and Maddie and you always talk about
it's always windy.
We're doomed though for like a very, very hot July and August.
Yeah, but with the wind, it's never too bad.
Yeah,
I'm just so tired of wind. That is got to be the most
not fun,
annoying thing of all time around here, where we live. It's just windy all the time.
All the time, and like this week, it's been like 30-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, that's
today.
Tough.
We're recording on a Sunday morning, 20-mile-per-hour winds today. So, me and Boomy golf a lot. Usually it's weird if it's not windy.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like, oh man, it's windy today. It's actually like, oh man, it's not windy today. This is weird.
That's a good way to put it. I'm not complaining as of right now. Check back in a couple of weeks when I'm complaining about it being 95 and no wind.
Yeah, I'm not a guy who likes to sweat.
Yeah, I mean, and knowing us, we're bigger guys, we don't handle the humidity great.
But the only good thing is I hate golfing with like long sleeve shirts on and stuff.
Yeah.
So that it is nice when it's warm. Just put a polo on, some nice shorts or whatever, and go out there and hopefully go low.
That is always the hope. But let's jump into things. As always, we've got sinkers and floaters. Zach, my sinker this week is realizing I'm getting old. Something I'm starting to realize more and more. Lower back issue. I've had a bad wrist for 2 months now. But this one hit me the other day. The incredible album 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance celebrated its 20th birthday. Came out in June of 2004. So that one was tough because I remember when that album came out very vividly.
Well, it was 21 years ago, like Thursday or Wednesday, Sammy Sosa's corked bat. I was at that game.
Yep, your sister.
And she gave him the bat.
Yep.
But it's one of those things that's just getting old, and it's just like, 21 years ago today, something you remember happening. That's just going to keep happening more and more.
Yeah. It's it's just part of getting older, but it's yeah, that one hit me.
I'm at the point where like Scotty Scheffler's 2 years younger than me. It's like that's too much for me.
Yeah, that is not a fun realization. I'm trying to look up the Sammy Sosa thing. I thought it was I'm not seeing a year. I thought it was like 2001, but I could be very wrong.
Yeah, at the game too, we had no idea.
Yeah.
It's like social media where you go on there and say, oh, Sammy Sosa corked bad. We're like, oh, Sammy Sosa got kicked out of the game. That sucks.
The first inning.
Yeah. I don't think they do the celebrity like bat people
2003. Yeah,
anymore.
you were right. 21 years.
And they used to let kids go out and like they would announce them before the game, and you get to go in the dugout and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I was so pissed too because my sister was the one who actually got to go in the dugout. You get to meet all the players. She has a picture with Sammy Sosa and stuff, and that was the game. What are the odds?
That is true.
But yeah, I think it was against the Marlins.
Nope. The Rays.
The Rays.
Yep. Got it. I just pulled it up here.
Which is even more weird because that was back then you only played American League team twice.
Yeah, you just played one division. Remember, you used to play like the AL East. You would play all those teams. That was it.
Okay.
And the next year, you'd play the AL Central, and then
now it's so different. Now you play, every team because they're going to be playing the Yankees this year, and I remember going to that in like 2003 at Wrigley Field, and that was a humongous deal because it had been so long since
because they hadn't like played them since Babe Ruth's home run or whatever.
It's what I like about the new schedule is you play everybody.
I agree. What's your sinker this week?
It's allergies. It's allergies. They just suck. You wake up every morning and like
can't breathe.
You don't want to wake up. You don't want to get up anyways and go to work or anything like that. Get up early, and then you feel like shit because your allergies and you got phlegm. It just sucks.
Yeah, I'm with you. Every day this week, I've woken up and not been able to breathe out of my nose for at least the first hour of the day.
The people will go, "What are allergies? I don't even have allergies." Like, well, you know what? Shut up.
Yeah, that should be a punchable offense.
Yeah, it's like you have to have allergies in some way, but yeah, it's just like you wake up, and for me, it's kind of weird because with living by myself, when I go to work, I talk to my dad in the morning. It's like, oh, it's the first word I've spoken all day. And
voice just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's just allergies. And then they give you just allergy medicine, which you don't even know if it really works or not. So big pharmacy, you know.
I'm with you, dude. Big pharma, we're coming for you.
Is that how you'd say it if you were mad? Big pharma.
Big pharma.
I had another sinker would be politics. That's gonna suck.
Yeah, we're in for it until about. Yeah, I mean we're always in for political debates depending on where you look, but yeah, election.
I was listening to
4 months.
Part of my take, and they were saying that I think the what's it? I know this is gonna sound bad for me, but what's it called when the president becomes the president and
the inauguration?
That's gonna fall right in between the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's gonna be weird, but those commercials are gonna suck.
Yeah, we're in for it until early November. But my floater, on the other hand, is completely nothing related to politics. The Home Alone house has sold again. It's in Winnetka. It's actually not far from Northwestern, if I'm not mistaken.
So is it a fully furnished house?
Yeah, if you haven't, go watch the video. They've obviously modernized it.
Is it to look like it was in the movie, or is it modernized?
It's modernized. They've completely renovated it. There's a basketball hoop in the basement.
So it's just a normal house that they filmed the movie in a long time ago.
Yep, exactly. Sold just last week, I want to say, for $5.5 million.
That's insane. But I mean, it's in a really amazing area too. So
yeah, $5.5 million. So the McAllister house, it has been renovated and expanded on in 2018. It says here on the.
It was a big house when they had the movie.
Yeah, 9,000 square feet. Yeah, it's huge. Basketball court in the basement now.
So the whole movie was filmed there?
Not the whole movie, but
I know. Yeah, I guess the house part, but
yeah, but even then, they take scenes and do them, on a set.
That's kind of what I thought. I didn't know if all of them. I guess the outside stuff was probably there.
We should have pulled up some money. $5.5 million though.
Where's it at?
Winnetka.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's out of our price range.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could maybe somehow get some money for the house in a way, but then you got to pay taxes. No, thank you.
Yeah, no kidding.
My floater is cricket. I think cricket is going to be a sport that we see more in America here coming up soon. I mean, it's not like if you have some hand-eye coordination, you could probably play it pretty well. And it just seems like something like not like what would you say, golf or bowling or something like that. Maybe more like older people that don't play like slow pitch softball anymore. Maybe they can play cricket.
So I've always been one to like I always like to try and watch, every sport and at least know a little bit about every sport. We tried like 10 years ago to learn how cricket is operated, and me and Jess just could not figure it out.
There's a video, not part of my take. Barstool just did one where it's a whole video of there's guys who play cricket professionally came in and taught them how to do it.
But and I get like the mechanics of it, but like scoring and everything. But I watched like a 5-minute TikTok the other night, and I'm starting to understand it a little bit more. So.
Well, the thing about it too is like if you're playing it with people who know it, you don't really even need to know the scoring.
Yeah, it's wild. It's one I would like to figure out, but
it seems like it'd be super hard. But I think if you could hit a baseball, and you could have a chance at hitting this thing.
Yes, I agree. I think it's kind of like, we talked about like handball and how if we got all of our athletes to play cricket, I think we would dominate.
I hate to be this way, but there are people playing like, what's that one where you hit it off like the trampoline in the middle and then it goes. Yeah, like that was being played. I think this is much more exciting than spike ball.
Yeah, we might have to do that this summer. Just sit down and watch a game of cricket and figure this all out, Zach.
Yeah, unfortunately, you probably need a pretty big area.
Yeah.
I don't know how like far like a home run would be or whatever, but yeah, it seems interesting.
Absolutely. Zach, speaking of your sinker, I just got an alert on my computer here that just says very high pollen today.
Oh, it hurt me.
Cool. As if we didn't know that. By
the way, crazy. Sometimes you'll be out there and I don't know what the trees are called, but it looks like it's snowing.
Yeah, it's brutal. But let's jump into things as regularly scheduled. Back to the TCF Sports Minute. We'll start off with the Cubs.
They stink.
31-34, dude.
I was talking with a buddy last night. I think they just stink.
Yeah.
And for a while there, I'm like, okay, maybe they're just slumping. We'll get back to it. I think at this point they just stink.
The offense is awful.
The pitching has gone. I mean, you couldn't stay where they were at the beginning of the year, but it's gone down quite a bit. And like with Shota, he's given up 3-4 runs and stuff like that. And with a good offense, that shouldn't matter too much. Because Shota was gonna regress at some point. He wasn't gonna be what he couldn't be that good all season. But it's just can't get the runners on scoring position. Last night, 1st and 3rd, 1 out, 9th inning, you need a run to tie the game. Ian Happ pops up to the catcher. And then I think Mike Tauchman grounded out. It's like you got to capitalize on spots like that against the Reds, who I think as of right now, the Cubs are tied for last place in the division.
They are tied for last place with the Cardinals.
I don't know at this point what you do.
Well, and also something me and my dad and brother have been talking, like the defense stinks too.
Yeah. Dansby is, slumping on offense and defense, which is just, you would think, okay, slumping on offense to pick it up on defense. He hasn't been playing very good on defense. Christopher Morel, love the guy. I just don't think he can be an everyday third baseman.
Stop putting him at third base. Good God, he is a butcher over there.
Yeah,
well, okay, so like for example, we were watching the Cubs game the other night. I think it was the first game, and or it was when Justin Steele started. Justin Steele has a no-hitter going. Okay, guy's on first. Ellie De La Cruz is on first. Picks him off. Michael Busch throws one in the dirt against arguably the fastest guy in baseball, and so he gets second. And then a drop third strike, I think, is how he got on base. So, and then of course, double down the line, first hit of the game, they score, and it's just you're just play baseball. Just
and it goes back to spots where, like the other day when they sent home Nick Madrigal and he gets thrown out by a mile. Like that just doesn't help.
I mean, they're in their last 10, they're 3-7. They're
Speaking of that, Nick Madrigal goes down to the minors, fractures his hand first at bat.
Yeah, they got to get something figured out here soon because you're already losing ground in the division.
We talk about the White Sox; they're not very good, but they were built not to be very good. The Cubs were built to at least contend for a division.
And it took a miracle for them to beat the White Sox.
Yeah, we got Cody Bellinger. We saved the offseason. Cody Bellinger has not been good.
No.
You know what I mean? For what he was expected to be, all the money, all these teams wanted him. Like other than Shohei, it kind of revolved around him in the offseason, the free agency. Yep. And was he done?
You know, they have 4 guys that are hitting over 250. That's it. Their highest batting average is 262.
I mean, it's just
it can't hit.
No.
They can't hit. They can't score runs. They're butchers on defense.
And what happens when everybody's slumping? That's not good.
It's bad. But, I mean, here's the thing. The division is still not great.
And they're supposed to be playing teams coming up here that aren't that good.
Yeah.
But what does that matter when you can't score runs?
Exactly. They go to Tampa at the beginning of next week. And then they host the Cardinals for 3, then the Giants, the Mets. There's some winnable games. A lot of Giants here coming up. But
I don't trust them to win any games against anybody at this point.
Yep. If you can't hit, you can't beat anybody.
And they've done this so many times where they get so close in the 9th inning and then just blow it.
Yep. It's got to figure it out, fellas. Got to put the ball in play.
Albert, I think, is most likely out for the season.
Who?
Adbert, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good there.
No, I mean, you thought that was going to be your closer? I mean, first 2 weeks of the season, we loved it.
Yeah, not so much anymore. At least things, misery loves company, and the White Sox have the worst record in baseball.
What I'll say about the White Sox, like I said, they what was the record again? Sorry,
17-48, worst record in baseball.
But you know what? They're supposed to be. They're built this way. This team was built to lose, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and that's what they're doing.
They have 17. They have 17 wins. The next lowest total is 22. So they're 5 games ahead of having the worst record.
Because it's just one of those things that what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean and now they're talking about trading Crochet.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about guys like Crochet. I mean, you want them to play well, but then the next thing you know, they're traded because they played well.
It sounds like Robert might be on the move too.
Yeah, that's surprising to me that they would give up Robert. But I guess are they thinking like it's going to take that long to rebuild?
Yeah, I mean they're years away from. I mean, and it doesn't help that their farm system's awful too.
And if you want to get rid of Robert, you just got to hope he can string together like a month of not getting hurt.
Yeah,
Eloy's out.
I would trade him as fast as I can, just because the percent or the history.
And Shriffen, dude, I can't stand that. I'm not even saying this as a Cub fan. That guy, he's just so annoying.
Who?
The announcer for the TV announcer for the White Sox.
He's not good. Poor guy had no chance.
Well, it's just like, dude, you got to read the room a little bit. I mean, he just like screaming and this and that. It's like, dude, chill out a little bit. Your team has won 17 games. Like, you can get excited. There's no reason not to get excited, but it's like sometimes it's just like, dude, you can tell you're overdoing it. Yeah,
it feels fake and forced, but
did you guys did you see the Sosa, the catcher for the White Sox? He's batting like 60, and the fans are trying to give him the All-Star game.
That would be very funny.
Yeah, and Shriffen talked about it the other day on TV like it was actually a thing. It wasn't dude, it's a joke. It's a joke. I mean, he's batting, which is crazy to have a catcher that's batting 65.
No, Sosa, he's batting 230.
The catcher?
Yeah.
Who's the catcher?
I don't know. They've only got one guy batting 091, and he's played in like 5 games.
Well, maybe he's been
Deloach.
playing a little better because at one point his average was like very low.
Yeah, he's only played in 20 games, so that would
He
make
hit a home
sense.
run against the Cubs.
Yeah. Yeah, they're bad. And Andrew Benintendi, their big piece is like statistically the worst WAR average in baseball.
Yeah, they're one big contract they signed.
I think I saw that him, Jose Abreu, and Eloy Jimenez are statistically like bottom 5 in baseball at their WAR. They're both.
Yeah, Jose
all
Abreu. Wow, what a
fall from
fall.
grace. Yeah,
I would just retire.
yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, he's also on the Astros. I mean,
He gets like one home run this year.
And the Astros starting to pick it up 30 and 35. So
yeah, he was sent down I thought he was sent down at some point for a little bit.
I think he got hurt too, which shocker there, but
yeah.
Moving over, Bears, what was it, mandatory training camp or something?
Yeah, every day looking better. Yeah, I think at this point it's just a bunch of training camp until was it July that they start actual training camp?
Yeah, I think middle or late July.
So I think it's like August 5th or something is when like they got Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah. Have you ever watched Hard Knocks before?
I've never watched Hard Knocks, no, really. I just don't have HBO.
Oh yeah. See, and I have HBO and I've never watched an episode, but
I will be watching this year. I'm excited for it. It'd be cool to see what's going on. I think Caleb Williams is the type of quarterback with the personality to do something like this, and it'd be interesting. Doesn't seem like he'll shy away from talking.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle that with a rookie quarterback. And
you got to realize, I mean,
the personality that he has.
There's a lot of final editing on it, so like it's not like crazy things are going to get out.
Yeah,
it's not live.
That's true.
People are making it seem like, oh my god, I can't believe this and that's. Like, dude, there's cameras around them first of all the time, anyways, and I mean, it's not like anything that you don't want to get out is going to get out.
Yeah, I think the NFL and the teams.
And if you're the NFL, you can't pass up an opportunity to have a rookie QB that has the expectations of Caleb Williams with this team, with the players he's going to have. It's just like it's a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll at least be, like I said, a team that I'm familiar with being on there. I have a reason to watch for the first time. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. But before we move on, we got to give a big shout out to our friends at Connect Roasters Coffee. They have the best coffee around that you are going to find. I promise you that. They work with Dom Frederick. They work with Ian Happ. It's in the Cubs clubhouse. You know it's good quality stuff. So make sure you check them out, connectroasters.com, on social media at Connect Roasters. And if you're out in the Bourbonnais area, make sure you stop by the storefront, get yourself some delicious coffee. So a big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters. So make sure you load up on some Connect Roasters coffee for your summer morning needs. Let's jump into the finals, Zach. We got the NHL and the NBA going on. Let's start with the NBA Finals. Game 2 tonight, Sunday night. Game 1 kind of sucked, I'm not going to lie.
First off, why do we need 2 days off? We just had all this time off. Why do we need 2 days in between games?
Hey, man, that was ridiculous. We had to wait, I think it was 7 days.
They sat in Boston for 2 days doing nothing.
Yeah, it's like, let's go. Especially like a Saturday
night.
The
NBA, they want this thing to be longer than the regular season, I think, at some point.
I'm watching the Showtime Lakers thing on Max, and there's a quote in there that he says about winning a championship in May. And I'm like, holy cow, like that's very different from what it is now. It's going to be July by the time this thing's over.
Yeah, July. But I just think that the Boston Celtics are unfortunately going to make quick work of it.
Yeah.
I think that there'll be a few games where Dallas will win. I think they'll at least win 2 games.
I hope so, but let's be honest, dude. If Kyrie Irving's going to score 12 points a game,
that's the problem.
He did in game 1, they ain't winning a single game. When PJ Washington scores more than Kyrie Irving, they cannot win.
And it's the first time Luka's been in the finals. It's a long season.
Yeah, and he's got the Olympics too coming up.
If you're the Celtics and you lose this, you blew a great opportunity.
Well, and the Celtics window isn't open for that much longer. I mean,
no.
a year, 2
you can't
max,
pay both Jaylen Brown and Tatum huge max money
I mean,
and keep a good team around them.
someone had a good quote. They have like 8 guys who should be $100 million guys,
Yeah.
and they're not. That's just insane. And Porzingis coming back from injury, given an easy 20 piece. That was,
Yeah.
I like Porzingis. I always felt like he got a raw deal, being drafted by the Knicks and them hating him. But
he also played for the Mavs, and he didn't leave there on great terms either.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think Dallas is. I hope they win too. I think realistically, I think this Boston team is just way too deep.
I want like 6 or 7 games. I don't want a quick series. This whole playoffs kind of sucked. The Knicks, 76ers was a great series.
Dallas Clippers was a good series.
Yeah, then Wolves, Denver was a good series. But other than that, we haven't had very many good series, especially the conference championships were both duds.
Yep, exactly. But I don't know. I feel like Dallas just they got to get Kyrie going. They got
to win tonight. They can't go down 2-0. I know that sounds stupid, but go down 2-0 to this team, and even if you win both games, you're still just tied. You want to be able to go back to Dallas and return to Boston with maybe the lead.
Looking at the box score from game 1, 6 guys in double digits for the.
And Tatum didn't even play that great.
No, he had 16. He played 42 minutes. He had 11 boards, though. That helps.
Yeah, I'm just saying he could easily go off for 30 or 40, and they still won by like 20.
Yeah. It wasn't even.
Yeah, that fourth quarter they shouldn't even play the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just move on. Yeah, looking here at Dallas's line, PJ Washington, 14. Derek Jones Jr., 5 points in 28 minutes. Gafford, 8 points. Luka, 30. Kyrie, 12. And then Hardy off the bench with 13. And Lively had 2 points.
The NBA Finals full of old Bulls players.
Yeah, that's frustrating to watch.
Oh, my goodness.
Derek Jones and Daniel Gafford that the Bulls couldn't get rid of fast enough, it felt like. And now they're in the NBA Finals.
I always say, imagine we still had Laurie.
Yeah, seriously. Turned into a hell of a ball player. Moving over to the NHL, game 1 last night of the Stanley Cups. Florida wins 3-0. I think this is almost similar to the NBA Finals to me, Zach. Florida, I think that Edmonton has the best player in the series, but Florida might just have so much depth. It's kind of like in the NBA that Luka is the best player in the series, but the depth of Boston and Florida is just so much to try to take on with what they have.
I know. I want Edmonton to win, though, because I think that would be cool for McDavid, like the best player in hockey, to get his championship. I didn't realize he's been in the league for like 7-8 years.
Yeah, it might be closer to 10. It might be like 9 years.
And I'm just tired of Florida teams winning. Why is Florida a good hockey state? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. But, last night, 3-0, it didn't even feel like it was even a game, And Edmonton, 32 shots at Bobrovsky or whatever, the goal. You don't give up any goals, you're going to win a lot of games. It
makes no sense, too, because Edmonton didn't play horrible. They just could not get a goal.
Yeah, Bob wasn't letting anything go. And
it's crazy. And being Blackhawks fans, man, wouldn't it be nice to, I think it was Sylvie the other day on Wild, and Sylvie said, wouldn't it be nice to walk out of a Blackhawks game and it'd be like humid? Warm?
Yeah.
Remember back those days?
Oh,
when it was like almost summertime by the end of the season. Now you'd be lucky to 30 degrees during the season because you're never making the playoffs.
That's true. That is, we used to watch playoff hockey games on like a patio at a restaurant.
Yeah, I remember summer baseball would be going on almost, and we were listening to the NHL Finals.
Yep, I remember the first cup. I skipped summer school for community college to go to the parade. So it had to have been middle of June.
Me and you, did we go to the last one?
We went to, was it
1 in 15?
Yeah, because I didn't go to the middle one. I don't think. I think I was out of the state. Yeah, I think we went in 15. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, good series. I just
Hockey is so fun though.
it is. It really
But I
is.
almost
just
think
hope
that
both of these
Edmonton,
series-
they were so excited to be in the NHL finals, Stanley Cup finals, sorry. That it almost, I mean, it takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's they've had a tough run here in the playoffs and a lot of long. I mean, hockey. That's just hockey, though. You know.
But for both series, I just want Game 7.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get it in either of these series.
No, I don't
Unfortunately.
think either. But Game 7, I don't think you've had like what 2 Game 7s maybe in basketball and like 2 or 3 in hockey.
Yeah, don't remember a lot of them. That's for sure. Yeah, I just want good long series. I'm not asking for much here.
And also, I want a little more like Boston kind of was soft the other night. They were all about Kyrie, and then they were winning. They didn't do nothing.
Yeah. Oh, I hate Boston anyway, so I got nothing.
Yeah, they were all like, "We're gonna boo him. We're gonna boo him," and
I also saw this morning. I think it was the lowest rated or viewership on an NBA Finals game 1 in the history since they've been like
what is
tracking.
that? Does that mean like throughout the whole game? Because it was a blowout right away.
Yeah, that's what my guess is that it felt like it. I mean, and granted, Dallas closed it to.
It was also a Thursday night too.
Yeah, but I did see that. I just hope both these series we get a little bit more than 4 or 5 games, but who knows? We'll see. Let's jump over. We've got tier rankings this week. We've been doing these here. These are fun. And this week we are doing Cubs uniforms. We're using a graphic here, and it's funny because Zach has this graphic and is like a painting, not a painting, but right there as you see on the screen. So if you're just listening on in audio form, make sure you go check this out in video form. But it's kind of like the history of the Chicago Cubs uniforms, and it is not super updated. For what it
goes to 1990.
Now. Is that when the last?
Which they really haven't changed too much since then. I mean, they have a bunch of different alternative like city connect jerseys and stuff. But
I tried to even find. Remember in 2014, the 100-year anniversary of Wrigley Field, they had like 10 different uniforms they wore throughout the year. The throwbacks. I tried to find a graphic that had all of those on one, and I just couldn't find it. And I didn't want to find 10 separate pictures. So we're going to use this one. We'll start in the top left. Obviously, tier ranking system, S, A, B, C, D, E, F. We'll start with the white ones in the top left corner. What do you got here, Zach?
I'm going to go. Sorry, it's a little blurry for people on YouTube. It's just how this works. The super old school ones. I'm going to go B. I'm not the biggest fan of like old school jerseys.
Well, here, I'm going to do all these 3 together. So the white one, I would put in a B category. The gray one and the blue one are A categories, though. Those are A tier. Those with the blue stripe down the middle and then the navy blue pinstripe, I think those are solid. I like those a lot. Those are pretty close to S tier. So I would go A on both of those. The white one is okay. I would go with a B there. Let's move over to the right. What year does that say there, Zach?
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to look at my board here.
Yep, that's fine.
1925.
25. Those are kind of boring. I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to go like D.
Yeah, D is probably more accurate there. They're okay. They're okay. I do like the logo with the kind of the first iteration of the Cubs logo that we know now. I'll agree with you. I'll go D on those. Let's keep moving to the right. What years do we
1940, 1945.
So
I was never a fan of. I don't like how it's like a vest kind of.
Oh, well, see, I love the vested uniforms.
I don't like that. I think that's going to be a C tier for me. I'm going to go both of them C tier.
I'm going to go with
lump them together.
I'm going to go A with the gray, and I'll go C with the white. Just because, like I said, I love the vested uniforms. So, I don't know, man. I don't know why you don't like vested. You like the White Sox.
I don't like them. I think they need to have the It's like when they put the sleeves. It was like the opposite way when they put the sleeves on the basketball uniforms.
That's fair. That's fair criticism. Let's continue to move over. What year do we got here?
1969. So this would be like Ernie Banks.
Yep,
Probably.
Ron Spano.
I'm gonna go A. Those jerseys are just right there, but I like the Chicago across it.
I also love the 60s Cubby Bear on the left shoulder there. I'm with you. I'm on an A for those. Continuing to move, the blue.
1984.
84.
All
those
blue.
are
That's an S for me.
That's an S tier.
Those are absolutely amazing. I still think they should wear those.
I agree. Like kind of how the White Sox did the Hitman jerseys on Sundays. I think the Cubs should wear these on Sundays. These are elite. I love these.
It's a little different on mine than this one. I think that's a little more. It says 1998. The one on yours looks a little more modern.
Yeah, that one is.
We kind of did this wrong.
Yeah, we should have went.
1960 goes to the bottom, but you know what? We don't care.
Yeah, we're doing this on the fly. So, top right corner, is that what we're on, Zach?
Yeah, it's kind of what they wear today.
That's a D. That's boring.
Yeah, I'm
not a.
No, I think they should go back to the all blue.
I agree. Let's go bottom left. What year do we got here?
1916. And if you notice, the sleeves are a little too long for me here. I'm going to go D or E.
Yeah.
If I'm playing baseball with those sleeves on a hot day.
I'm going to go E. These are just kind of boring. And like you said, the sleeves throw it off for me. That could have done something more there. Let's continue to move to the right. What years? Is that the 50s?
No, that's 1932, 1934.
Kind of similar here. Those are boring.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C because they were old school, but the 1934, it looks like the sleeves are still long.
Yeah, I'm gonna go C here. They're fine. I don't know, and also like the coloring's weird. Good logo though.
Yeah, I mean the logo's always been cool.
Now we got dead middle. What year do we got here?
1957. I'm gonna go I'll go C.
Those are B for me. I like those. The big Cubs logo there on the chest. That is a little basic, but I like that more than just script Chicago or Cubs across the chest.
And then the difference between the next one's 1972. The difference is 1957 is the button up. 1972 is just a pullover.
Those are elite, dude. Those are an S tier for me as well.
Yeah, I think those in the blue are my two favorites.
Yep, that was a great
Cub on it, and then it's got the Cubby Bear on the arm.
Yep, that's an elite uniform. That and the blue are the two that I'm putting in S tier, and then the last one is kind of what they
I think
have.
It's more this. I think your picture is more updated than mine.
Okay,
because I got 1990, and I think these are like more modern. The last two, the all blue, which I hate the new all blue ones.
Oh, I like the all blues.
I wish they would go back to the old school all blue.
I don't disagree with you.
And then the last one, I'm guessing is what they wear today. I'll go like B because it's like this is what they wear, but I don't like button ups. I think they should all wear the pullovers.
It would be interesting to see. I don't think any team does that anymore. It'd be interesting.
No, I mean that all blue pullover is sick.
I like the white and the blue. I'm just not a huge fan of gray uniforms. I would put the blue and the white one in like an A- category and probably a C for the grays. The gray is just boring.
Yeah, that's the problem. The Cubs don't really have other than blue and red. I mean, red is whatever, not too like flashy colors.
I wish the Cubs would bring out a red one just to see what they look like.
Like I always wish back in the day, because both of where me and Boomy went to high school at, different high schools, same colorway. So we both were purple and gold. So I always wished that the Bulls were purple and gold.
Yeah, that would be.
Which I don't really actually wish they were, but now that I don't care. But like back then, it was like, man, I wish I could have all my shoes like, or all the stuff with purple and gold.
Absolutely. Probably do the White Sox next. We'll find some graphics. So that'll be our next tier ranking will be the White Sox uniforms. There's some good ones in there. I'm not going to lie. We're not White Sox fans, but I like some of the White Sox unis. So let's wrap things up. As always, we've got the TCF top 3. And this week we are doing closed down baseball stadiums. So former baseball stadiums.
Not to be confused with closed baseball stadiums that I thought that like the ones that close.
Yeah, you were thinking of like retractable roofs.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I'll go first. I mean, it's got to be a kind of old Comiskey Park.
Yeah, that's a good one. I knew that was going to go very early.
Seemed like it. I mean, like all these parks, neither of us have been to. I don't think.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess there's a
might
few.
have been to
Comiskey,
but I was a baby.
There's a few you could pick that you've been to, probably, but
that's a good pick because like everything was straight up. Like everything, it felt like I don't know about you, but I always like playing these old timey stadiums in like MLB The Show. Very condensed. I think it only sat like maybe 20,000 people. But that's a good one. I am going to go. There's so many good ones here. The Polo Grounds. I got to go Polo Grounds with those weird dimensions, like 500 feet to center field.
Dude, that's crazy.
The bullpens were in the outfield.
Imagine just like thinking you have just the greatest hit and it just like a pop fly.
Yeah.
Or playing in the outfield.
And then the like left and right field, the fence lines there were like 200 to get it out. But yeah, that was a wild design. That's one of the places I love playing on MLB The Show just because it's easy to hit home runs. My second round pick. See, a lot of the ones from like the 70s that like you think of like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, like those older stadiums before they moved in, they were kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like the kind of concrete monstrosities. I'll go Tiger Stadium, old Tiger Stadium in Detroit. That one, very, very similar to Comiskey.
Okay. Let's see here. Old Mile High Stadium.
Old Mile High Stadium. Oh,
where Colorado played?
Yeah, when they only played there for like a year, I think.
It says 1948 to 2001. Now a parking lot for. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it was a stadium for that long, but they only played there for
a year.
Yeah,
but not a bad choice.
I just like the name. And then one I've actually been to. I'm not saying it's the greatest of all time. I know it's the top 3, but RFK Memorial.
Oh, that place was a dump.
It was a dump, but man, that place was that's interesting. I mean, it was cool to go to because it was so old and stuff like that. But it was I mean, we sat up in the upper deck, and it looked like you were going straight down.
Yeah, and you could like feel the stadium.
I needed to have one that I've actually been to.
Oh, there's another one that I'm not going to take, but the Metrodome. You've been there.
Oh yeah, but yeah, dang it.
You want that instead of Mile High?
Yeah, I'm going to take that instead of Mile High.
Okay, I'll give it to you because I did not like that place. But that is a good one to play on.
It wasn't bad because it was all inside, so it was always. But like
but you don't have to worry about Minnesota weather in April. That helps.
You had to walk through the doors, and it would hit you with like just a bunch of air, and then you go to another set of doors.
Keep that roof up. My last pick, the Astrodome, the original Astrodome, the first ever enclosed stadium. Kind of a little bit on that concrete monstrosity side, but a very, very cool stadium back when it was originally built. It was one of the wonders of the world that they used to call it. So we missed a lot here.
Do you know that it's called Hubert? Stadium. It was called Hubert H. Humphrey Metronome.
Yep. I remember when the roof caved in.
Olympic Stadium, you've been there.
Yep, that was another one that was close to, again, kind of concrete monstrosity in there, and it held like 75,000 people.
Boom, it is the reason why they're all knocked down.
Yeah, that is true. There's a ton of good ones. Like Veterans Stadium in Pittsburgh and Riverfront in Cincinnati. There's a lot of good ones. What other ones are we? Hard Rock. Remember the old where the Marlins played, where there was also football going on?
Yeah.
That's
kind of what.
Here's a big miss though. Milwaukee County Stadium.
Well, isn't where the Twins played, the Vikings played there for a little while.
Yep, they played there for a long time. Three Rivers in Pittsburgh. Kind of that was kind of one where I was like, it's kind of ugly. Shea Stadium, that's a good one. Any other ones we're missing here, Zach?
So I'm looking at a bunch of them. Old Tiger Stadium.
The problem is the multi-use ones, right? Where they played football. Like the Steelers played at the same stadium as the Pirates, so that's why it was gigantic and way too big.
There's a lot of old parks from Chicago.
But I will say this, Zach.
Southside Park 2.
Yeah.
Southside Park 3.
The baseball stadiums are incredibly better now than they were 50 years ago.
The Cubs play at Westside Park 2 from 1894 to 1915.
Yeah.
I think is now owned by the University of Illinois, which now occupies the University of Illinois Medical Center.
Oh, interesting. Didn't know
you
that.
Want to you go to list of former Major League Baseball stadiums on Wikipedia. There's actually a lot of really cool information on some of them.
That's exactly what I had pulled up too. So
and they got like Arlington, where the Rangers played before. It's now converted into a football and soccer use at some stadium. I think XFL team plays there now.
Yep. I think the Texas Renegades or Austin Renegades or not Austin, Dallas Renegades. Whatever they are.
History stuff. It's like even in Baltimore, it says Union Park. It was in the 1891, now a residential area and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. Let us know the ones we missed, which ones you guys like. Let us know if you guys like those old multi-use stadiums, because I have yet to meet anybody that's like, oh, yeah, Three Rivers, my favorite stadium of all time. Now, that place is too big, shouldn't have been playing baseball there. Fine football stadium.
I'm happy that I don't think there's anywhere that goes baseball, football anymore, because that sucks.
Yeah.
The Dolphins?
No, the Dolphins, because Miami has their own. Their own park, but
they do now.
Yeah, the A's. I mean, the Raiders moving to Vegas ended that. No, I think that that
was horrible.
Yeah, that was bad. But that's the end of the show, episode 228. We thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you find us on X at @typical_Chicago, Facebook, Instagram. Give those pages a like. Subscribe on YouTube for all of our content and video form, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you can, wherever you can. Make sure you check us out on those as well. Make sure you check out our friends over at Connect Roasters, connectroasters.com. Get yourself some coffee for the summer. If you're out in Bourbonnais, make sure you stop at their storefront as well. But you
can also
find
me cold brews, so don't forget that.
Yep, bingo.
Some people switch from winter to summer. They switch to cold brew for the summer, so they also got that.
Heck yeah, nothing better to start a summer morning than some Connect Roasters cold brew. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF. You can find Zach at ZLiliaTCF. We'll be sure to be back in about a week for episode 229. But
Maddie's in San Diego today.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that at the top of the show. Maddie is in paradise right now. So
he's at the Padres game. What a beautiful place.
Not jealous at all over here, at all. But anyway. Thank you guys for joining us. That was episode 228 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.